Hello again, racing fans. Welcome. Good to have you with us for our preview of midweek racing on Wednesday. We're racing in KZN. We're in the capital of Pietermaritzburg, racing at Hollywoodbets Scottsville for an 8-race program that gets underway at 12:40. Thanks for joining me as we look at this meeting, the last midweek meeting prior to the big grand finale on the weekend. Everyone chomping at the bit for Sunday's meeting at Hollywoodbets Gravel. Lots of feature races on the card, big pools that we can all look forward to, as well as some top quality equine athletes that will be in action and inevitably decide who walks off with the coveted title in which category when it comes to the Equus Awards. But more about that when we get to the weekend. Looking at Wednesday's meeting with the 8-race program, it means that we get straight into the action as far as our exotic bets are concerned. 12:40, you need to be on with your buy pots if you are going to be playing one on the afternoon. Race 1 is a maiden juvenile plate for fillies. There are 2 scratchings in the opener. You can take out number 6 American Gem and number 15 Mrs. Ludla. So 14 runners will face the starter, and I'm looking no further than the odds-on favourite, number 12 Tulip Fields, who is at 0.91 on Hollywoodbets.net. This horse from the stable of Dean Kannemeyer gets log-leading jockey Gavin Larena in the saddle, and I do think that combination will take a power of beating. This horse has had one run under the belt, and I thought that was a run full of merit. Jumped out awkwardly, and it was reported that the saddle slipped in running on that day. Incidentally, the horse that finished just ahead of her in second that day was a horse called Opera Fan, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line to give it a boost. And I do think with any amount of further natural improvement to come, Tulip Fields will be hard to beat. So I'm looking no further than 12 Tulip Fields to win it, ahead of 13 Belligerent, 1 Love the USA, and 3 Winter Blessing. Race 2, first leg of the place accumulator. You need to be on at 1:15. It's a maiden plate to be run over 1,000 metres. 9 runners will contest race 2. You're probably going to need 2 or 3 to safely see you through. Number 7 Mfetu is at 1.82 to 1. 8 Exocet, 2.27 to 1. 9 Boardwalk Breeze is at 2.5 to 1. 6.25 to 1 and upwards bar those 3. I like number 9 Boardwalk Breeze. This one from the stable of Paul Lafferty now gets the services of Calvin Abib. I thought those last 2 runs were very good, improved in both those outings, and I do think it's the blinkers that's done the trick. Blinkers fitted again for this run. This horse also showed lots of toe from the get-go last time out, and that was over 1,100 metres at this track when finding one too good on the day. The horse that finished just behind it in third was a horse called Clickbait, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line. I do think that Boardwalk Breeze also has scope for further improvement and could unsettle in the number 1 box. So I'm going 9 Boardwalk Breeze to win it, ahead of 7 Mfetu, 8 Exocet, and 5 Grand Force. If you are going to be playing a pick 6, you need to be on by 13:50. Race 3 is the opening leg of the pick 6. It's a maiden juvenile plate where 10 runners will face the starter at the 1,400 metre mark. Here number 1 Gallic Victor is at 1.82 to 1. 3 Director from 2 has gone to 2.27 to 1. 7 Splash of Love from 2.5 out 2.86 to 1. 10 to 1 bar those 3. How often have we not seen a very expensive Kannemeyer yelling top of the boards and then duly arrive? Here we have a very expensive son of Vercingetorix who's unraced, cost 1.8 million rand as a yearling. This one runs for Kaya Stables, has got log-leading jockey Gavin Larena on board, and I do think it can be a quick double for the combination of Gavin Larena and Dean Kannemeyer. They can possibly win the first and this the third race, and I wrote here, if not in need, can certainly start its career on a very positive note. Gallic Victor is, of course, the half-brother to Good Traveller, who we will see later on in action in race 7 on the card, and I do think that Dean Kannemeyer will know exactly what this horse has been doing back home, because he's had a number of them that he has sent out in a similar vein where they've come out first time and won, and I think that trend is going to continue here. So I'm going 1 Gallic Victor to win it. Head of 3 Director I think is the biggest danger. For third, number 7 Splash of Love, and fourth number 5, Sally Port. Race 4 is the first leg of the first jackpot. It's a Class 4 benchmark 80, where 13 runners will face the starter. In fact, we have one scratching here, number 13, Lucky Dollar, so 12 of them will contest the fourth. 7, Rooster Bradshaw, 2.27 to 1. Next on offer is number 1, Kimberley Horror, 5.56 to 1. 6.25 to 1, number 3, Dancing on a Cloud. Likewise, 9, Give That Man a Bell, 6.25 to 1. 7 to 1 and upwards the others. Must admit, I like number 7, Rooster Bradshaw. Now, despite picking up a 5-point penalty, that last win was certainly one full of merit, with this horse raced wide but ran on nicely and certainly caught the eye the way it won and drawing clear to win by 2.1 lengths in the end. Now, this horse is from the stable of Duncan Hull, so what does my good friend Mr. Hull say here in the winning form? Mr. Hull says, improving all the time, can give a good account. Good enough for me. 7, Rooster Bradshaw to win it. Ahead of 9, Give That Man a Bells. For third, we're going with number 1, Kimberley Horror, and fourth, number 3, Dancing on a Cloud. Fifth race, B Stakes, 2 scratchings. Take out 2 Hat's Pride, 3 Tobacconist, 9 runners to line up at the 1600 metre mark. You probably could make a case for a number of them, with 5 Rouvaun, top of the boards at 3.33, 3.57 number 6 Bristol Hercules, 4 to 1 about 10 Terminator, 5.56 to 1 about number 1 Serpentine, and then you can get 6 to 1 and upwards the others. I in fact like number 11 Go Grayson Go, who's currently priced up at 6.25 to 1 from the stable of Frikkie Greyling, gets the services of Rachel Vinegar. If you look at this horse's form, those last 2 runs particularly have been exceptionally good. I do think this horse, being a model of consistency, will once again give us a good account of itself. Ideally course and distance suited. For 2 runs has had a win and a third. And I do think with this horse's style of racing, Rachel, who takes the 1.5 off the back, will be able to jump, take it to the front, go and set the fractions, and say, come and catch me if you can. I do think this horse will be hard to peg back once it gets to the front in the rundown to the wire. So I'm going 11 Go Grayson Go to win it, ahead of number 5 Rouvaun, 6 Bristol Hercules, and 10 Terminator. Takes us on to race 6 on the card. Race 6 is a Class 5 benchmark 66. 9 runners to contest this 1100 metre contest. Here number 8 Prankster is at 2.5 to 1. 9 Teriyaki, 3.5 to 1. 7 Willow Gem is at 4 to 1. 6.25 to 1 and upwards the others. Here I'm going for the informed stable of Gareth Van Sale, siding with number 8 Prankster as my first choice selection. Once again, we're siding with Gavin Larena. He really has got most of the plum rides on the card, and I do think that he can come home with at least 3 or 4 winners on the afternoon. This horse won well last time out, winning by a margin of 3 lengths, and I do think can follow up with another win, particularly over this course and distance. For 2 runs, has already got a win under the belt, and I do think that Prankster can once again give the boys a run for their money. So I'm going 8 Prankster to win it, ahead of 9 Teriyaki, 7 Willow Gem, 1 Jane's Vision. That takes us on to race 7, which is a Class 3 benchmark 96, where 11 runners will face the starter, and this is one of those races where you can make a case for at least 5 or 6 of them. Keep fingers crossed that you still get through, because I do think the last couple of races are pretty tricky to contend with. 4.55, number 8 Riverstone, along with 6 License to Thrill at 4.55 to 1. 1 Good Traveller is at 5 to 1. Number 2 Katiwa's Destiny at 5 to 1. 5 to 1 number 10 Mfoka, and 6.25 to 1 and upwards the others. Hoping that Gareth Van Sale can once again help us out to make it a quick double, I like number 8 Riverstone here as my first choice selection. Now this horse was very unlucky last time out when unable to get a clear run in the run down to the wire. Was literally balked all the way in the closing stages. That was over the course and distance. Now, the horse that finished just ahead of it in 5th was a horse called Miss Argonaut, who has subsequently come out and won and franked that form line. Riverstone is having its peak run here, so it should be cherry ripe to run an absolute cracker. And with the Fonsailliard in such devastating form, I'm siding with this one as my first choice. 8 Riverstone to win it, ahead of 1 Good Traveller, 6 License to Thrill, and 10 Mfaka. That takes us on to the last race on the programme. 16:45 is the off time of race number 8. It's a Class 4 benchmark 80, where 12 runners will line up at the 1200 metre mark. And here you can get 3.57 to 1 about number 5, Moya Walla Liga, 4 to 1 number 12, Master of the Desert, 4.55 number 9, Mar del Plata, 6.25 number 10, Indecent Proposal, 8.33 to 1 and upwards the others. I'm going to go with number 12, Master of the Desert. I remember this horse very, very well from running here in Cape Town, has had 2 decent runs since arriving in KZN. This horse is a model of consistency, loved to race up handy. Rachel Vinnick has been booked to ride her. She takes the 1.5 kilos off the back. Coming back in trip to 1200 metres, that penultimate run over 1200 is what really swung it for me, and this also happens to be Candice Robinson's only runner on the day. So I'm going 12 Master of the Desert to win it, ahead of 5 Moya Walla Liga, 9 Mar del Plata, and 3 My Archangel. And that takes care of our preview of racing on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Trust you'll find the winners, trust you'll make a few rand, build the kitty with a profit. Till next time from me, Rouvaun. Cheers for now.